the Raptors lose two key playoff pieces in Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, but they do re-sign Fred VanVleet. But it
hurts.
The Serge one just hurts so much.
Yeah, it hurts
because the thing that made it hurt so much was I and a lot of people on Twitter were a proponent of just give Serge a balloon payment of like a year, and then he'll sign a team-friendly deal next year if you woo one of the free agents next year.
Ton of money.
Exactly. Like,
who cares?
At minimum $15 million. Apparently, the Raptors only offered him 12. And then at that point, I was like, how can you really blame Serge for taking 2 years, $19 million, and you get to live in LA? Like, I just don't see I don't see how you can hate on that, especially when it's a better winning situation. Like, say what you want. Like, I would rather have a team with Kawhi Leonard than
I would rather play in LA than Tampa.
Exactly. Yeah.
For real.
Pretty simple.
Like, yeah. So I can't even blame him. It's just it just hurt.
It sucks.
No.
Hurts.
It just sucks.
I don't think that there's ever been a player in Toronto sports history that's had a character arc that Serge Ibaka has had. Yeah. Because when he was first traded here, he went from a guy that was
struggling.
We were extremely excited to get him.
Yeah.
Extremely, because he's this huge name. He's what we always needed. We needed a power forward to play with JV. We've never had that in the entire era. And then we end up losing to Cleveland still in the second round. And then they run it. Then he re-signs to that 3-year deal. Yeah. Lose again the next year. And in that year, Serge was absolute dog shit that year, and everyone was hating on him. They're like, "Oh my god, we have 2 more seasons of this. What the fuck?" And then last season, well, I guess not last season.
The championship season,
unreal. Yeah. The Raptors do not beat Philly without him, without a doubt. No. And then in some of the Golden State games, he was unbelievable. Like in the clinching game, he had huge and then he turned into the most beloved guy. And then and then last year he was unbelievable for them.
And he had the whole scarf thing, and then he became
even just as a character off the court, doing everything the whole.
That was it Christmas last year that he did the thing with Biz and Andrescu.
Right.
Jamie's brother.
They did the whole dinner. He's done his own little cooking show.
Yeah,
he's done his own thing on his channel, the Who's Got Talent kind of deal, Like my own buddy was live on Serge Ibaka's Instagram doing a How Talented Are You episode. It's awesome. He's been such a great figure, not only on the court but off the court in terms of the outreach and the community level. He's been awesome.
For only 3.5 years, he's had as big of an impact as anyone in Toronto sports history in that in that amount of time. I think Brant, we're gonna argue here. He's had more of an impact on the city than Josh Donaldson has.
I'm not even gonna argue on that. I love JD. I think JD had a more of an impact on the sports landscape.
Sure, but on everything,
he didn't do anything here. He'd leave.
Exactly.
He'd leave is what he'd do. It's just I love JD and I love what he did for the Jays, but he didn't do much for the city.
Right.
I would argue that Marcus Stroman did more for the city than Josh.
Agree. No, I'd 100% agree with you with that. Yeah. So you just see this guy that Serge was the one that I was just like, damn it, I knew if Freddie left, it would suck from a basketball standpoint first because he makes more of an impact than Serge. Yep. But from an emotional standpoint, I think, but from an emotional standpoint, I think Serge he meant so much to the city because I think he actually loved it, and
he hurts more than losing Fred. It's
plain and simple.
Yeah. I just liked him.
Yeah. And I think he liked us. And he had a great post, and he's like, "My heart will always be here" and stuff. And I'm just like, God damn it!
It's all right. He's bringing back Kawhi next year.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, that tweet where it's like he's secret agent. I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't say no.
I don't know. The Clippers are falling apart.
It would be a crazy story.
Fire.
And then obviously last 2 nights ago, Marc Gasol signs with the Lakers. And this was it was almost a foregone conclusion once they traded. I had seen Woj tweeted out that the Lakers were trying to get more money to then sign him. And then they traded away JaVale McGee. I was just like, oh, that's Marc Gasol money there. And then within a minute, he's like, oh, Marc Gasol has agreed to sign with the Lakers. I'm like, this is exactly why.
I feel like I wouldn't hate these 2 moves as much. It wouldn't hurt as much if you came back with anything.
Okay, so here's my thing. Aaron Baines is honestly a starting caliber center in the league. Like I think he can replace. Offensively, he's a significant. I think he's a significant upgrade over Marc Gasol because he'll actually shoot threes.
Yeah,
and stuff. And he's just a bully. Like he's just a monster.
He's not good defensively.
You can watch the highlights of him like a couple of years ago against Joel Embiid and absolutely like wrecked him.
Okay.
So like I think I don't hate it. I just obviously it's not as much of a name.
It's a downgrade.
I don't know if it's a downgrade. On Mark, it's not a downgrade. I don't think.
No, but Mark was bad in the last.
But Mark was your center,
actually,
right?
Like he was your, Mark wasn't bad until the bubble.
Mark was offensively.
He
just wouldn't shoot.
No.
Like he wasn't shooting.
Yeah.
So I think like offensively, you could definitely talk me into an upgrade, and there's more of an upgrade on offense than there is a downgrade on defense, in my opinion. Okay. Maybe from a ball creation and like from a movement perspective, it's a downgrade there on offense.
I think if you take the two of them, like if you take Serge and Gasol together, and then you combo that with it's Baines and Alex Len.
Alex Len.
I mean, technically it would be Boucher, but yes.
But we had Boucher, so what left and what came back?
But it was a re-sign. You know what I mean? Like, Boucher was like the 11th man last year. He was the third forward, and now he's the second. Like, he's gonna be your guy off the bench. To where, like, look,
it's okay.
But here's my thing.
Bring something to the table.
I think people overrate what Ibaka bring defensively. Like, he was a sieve. Like, he really turned into a sieve at his last. He was an offensive weapon, and that's it. And like Boucher's. He's never been consistent with it, but he's had games where he just dummies. Like I remember
he
the
gets
Lakers
his chance.
Game. Yeah, like I don't. And his contract and Aaron Baines' contract. So those were like 2-year, $14 million deals, right? To where they're $7 million per year, and you're basically paying them only 1 year because the second year is a team option. Yeah. And if you want to make that into a sign and trade deal next year, you can do that, or you can just trade him for another like player because they have that option available, right? Yeah. So I think it's good business because in a way they also did reward Boucher, like who's had a tough upbringing, and then they gave him like a lot of money. Like I didn't think that he was going to get that money anywhere, but they took care of their guy because they could, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
Canadian kid too, so it helps.
Exactly.
I like what he brings to the table though. Like this guy, he's really good off defensively, and I mean. He hasn't shown consistency offensively, but I think it's there. Like
he's had games where it's just like, yeah, this kid can play.
Yeah, like he's got the rebounding ability to make himself a presence on the offensive glass, which I mean, we never really had that with either of them.
Right. No, you're right.
I don't dislike Chris Boucher by any means. I think he's a good player, but
it is unproven from a standpoint. I do agree with that. Like, I don't think the Raptors aren't a better team than they were. I
don't agree with that.
What, the Raptors aren't a better team?
Oh, you say aren't a better?
Yeah,
okay,
they're not a better team.
Are a better. I think they're
not
as good as they were last year.
I think that there's spots where they have a third point guard now, which is nice with Malachi Flynn. I like the DeAndre Bembry signing that they made because he's basically just a better Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, basically. Alex Len, I don't know. Maybe he's your backup center. We'll see. Like I assume that they will just play Boucher there. Yeah. And then so the one way you could talk me into them being a better team is those guys that they brought in are good. And then there's internal improvement. Like what if Fred is better? What if Pascal,
Pascal is better.
Everyone's just assuming Pascal is the Pascal that we saw in the bubble. Like I don't understand why that's the point. Yeah. And then I think he's going to be significantly better. Like I just don't see how he's not.
You hope he learns from what happened in the bubble a little bit, and like he can turn it back into what he was in the regular season.
Right.
That's the ideal situation.
Not 2 years ago were all these guys, like 2-3 years ago, were these guys like not all like the baby Raptors?
Exactly. And
Fred, OG, Pascal, Boucher, they were all in the G League. Like, they've been there through the championship. They might not have played the most pivotal role, but they've all been there. And they've been able to grow through the system, and I really think that it's going to be a growing year. I think we're correct me if I'm wrong, but I still think we're a playoff team.
No, I think they're still. I think they're the fourth best team in the East right now.
And you can talk me into being said,
who do you have ahead of them?
Milwaukee, Boston, Miami.
You're not giving the Nets.
And if the Nets are held, If
Probably.
they're healthy,
you're
they're
not saying
taking
the
the
Sixers
division.
right now. You think the Sixers are still worse?
I don't know.
I think it's between us and the Sixers for that spot.
They're a playoff.
I think I think the Nets are better than.
I still think we're a playoff team, though. Like,
no,
sure.
I
don't disagree because everyone below us is pretty dog shit.
No doubt, but like, I think that people underestimate like.
And I think that even
Kyle alone basically makes them a playoff team in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I think Atlanta's significantly better, but I don't.
Nick
I don't
Nurse
know how much.
makes them a playoff.
Exactly.
Team. We
like,
still have the best coach in the NBA.
Exactly. So I don't see like. I did see no panic. The idea was to run it back, but like, they are in a way, but there is upside to be better because you actually retained the young guys that you wanted to.
Yeah, and I just want to branch off of this where you retain the young guys, and as far as I'm concerned, like you're still able to make a play in next year's free agency, which
absolutely.
is where all the heavy hitters are.
Right.
Like this wasn't by any means go out and do everything you can to bring in the most talent.
No.
That's why
nobody was available to get this.
I know
Davis
it's
is
in
still
Van Vliet's
like,
contract, right?
not.
Like where it's structured to the
To go
2021
down,
season and go down.
Yeah.
So I think
Great.
in terms of how management played this, I'm not all that mad.
No,
like,
because
obviously this hurts.
The only part that I was mad about was that they lowballed Serge from a 1 year perspective.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that, like, I'm not mad about them not bringing back Gasol. Like,
I agree.
If you're a Raptors fan, you're still not allowed to be mad for the next 5 years.
You're not allowed to be mad for the next. How many years did the Leafs not win a cup? That is the bar.
No, because
bar.
Leaf fans have been mad for a long time.
That is literally the bar.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or
They've
at least
won,
the Jays, like the 20 years. Like, can you give us something?
Yeah.
Like, settle down.
We have minimum 5 years before you're ever allowed to be upset with anything that the Raptors do at this point because
they haven't even rebuilt. They lost the superstar, and you're gonna tell me people are upset? Come on,
they're still good.
I think NBA fans are spoiled though, just seeing the Clevelands of the world, the Golden States running it back every single year.
Exactly. Well, you lost Kawhi. If Kawhi didn't leave, you're back to back
in that conversation. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm not upset.
If you took Steph off of Golden State in their prime runs, they weren't as good as that they would have been.
No.
Pretty simple.